What is fly on my guys and gals? It's Jhawk, here for my OCD Draft review, and no, not the disorder. The OCD, or Origin Championship Division, is a draft-style league in similar format to the GBA, the Global Battle Association, with a few tweaks in tiering and such as that. Alright, let's get into it. My first round pick was Mew, and let's just say Mew has the greatest move pool diversity in the game. It is an undisputed fact. It literally learns any TM or HM move. So, considering there are around 100 TMs plus past TMs, that stacks up to quite a substantial amount. My main reason for picking Mew was good move pool diversity. It has a solid base 100 across the board, which is fairly good. It is also a good Trick Room setter, as if you see like later along my team revolves around Trick Room. Most importantly, it's just because of its diversity. It's not limited to one role. It can take a wall, it can take a sweeper, it can take a bulky pivot, it can take a status inflictor. It can take any role in the game basically. So yeah, that is Mew with round 1. Now with my tier 2 pick, I think this is around round 6, but I'm just doing this in by tiering order, is Beyonce the Hoopa. And if you're questioning the name, it's because if you like it, you gotta put a ring on it, and as you can see, it has many rings. So, Hoopa was picked somewhere within the proximity of my Trick Room plan. Originally, I was gonna pick Hoopa just based off its pure special attack, which is, if I'm not mistaken, 150, which is amazingly high. But then after the Trick Room idea set, I was like, alright, this can also work as a Trick Room user, as with its lowest amount of speed being 130, that's gonna outslow a lot of higher up threats and even some walls, which is definitely good so that I can run Modest, which Modest is going to be run almost every week that I don't run some sort of scarf set. The main reason for Beyonce had to be its high special attack, its Trick Room usability, its coverage, and it's just, you can't. How can you deny Beyonce? Like, it literally has the ring on it already. So back at it with another knockoff weak Mon is Yato the Doublade. Now Doublade is most commonly run as an Eviolite 3 attack Swords Dance set, or some sort of 4 attack set, which isn't really the best thing in the world, since its main purpose is to set up on other walls, but that's not the point. My main reason for picking Doublade is, once again, Trick Room usability. It has access to Gyro Ball, which is amazing in Trick Room. It has access to Priority, which is another thing that is amazing. It has the Steel typing, which is one of the most defensive typings in the game, and has Ghost typing, making it immune to fighting, one of Steel's main weaknesses. So that is Yato the Doublade. And with another Ghost-type Mon, we have King Tut the Cofagrigus. Now, as many of you know, Cofagrigus is usually run as some sort of physically defensive wall, or spike setter, or Trick Room user, and if we haven't already gone over, Trick Room is going to be the main theme of my team. Now, Cofagrigus has the unique ability Mummy, which, if it is hit with any contact move, the user loses its ability and gains Mummy, which can be huge in some instances, which can change a huge power Azumarill to a Mummy Azumarill, rendering it useless. With King Tut and his statusing capabilities, he's definitely a great asset to this team, with his Trick Room setting, his nasty plotting, his Will-O-Wisping, his toxic spiking, and most importantly, his knockoffing. Not really. Anyway, next Mon. And finally, a Mon that isn't weak to knockoff, we have Starbright, the big boy Lantern. Lantern is usually run as a cleric in its tier, which is NU, with moves such as Thunder Wave, Scald, Toxic, Heal Bell, Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Hydro Pump, all the above. In a draft league, it has so much more potential. It's not confined to just having one role, as this thing has the possibility to serve many roles within one game. Like, in recent examples I've had in NU, I've run a Choice Scarf Lantern with Heal Bell and Toxic, and it has destroyed about 90% of the players I've played, as they don't expect such a combination to combine. If I could have said that any better, I would. Another huge thing about Starbright is with Scald and that 30% chance to burn along with Thunder Wave and Toxic, it has access to almost every status in the game minus Sleep. And here we have the reason for the Trick Room team the way that it is. We have St. Helen, the Mega Camerupt. Now, if you haven't put it together yet, Mega Camerupt is incredibly slow with only a base 20 speed. So the Trick Room idea sprouted from the idea of using Mega Camerupt. Mega Camerupt, my main reason for picking it up, had to be its sheer force ability and its hard-hitting raw power. With a base 145 special attack stat, this thing is no joke. A Fire Blast on a water type does over half. This thing can tear through teams within seconds, but it's too slow to do anything. So that is why Trick Room is the perfect ability for this team. Anyway, to the next mon. And next we have Katrina, aka Hurricane Spam, aka the Tornadus Theron. While I was devising my draft plan, I had to think, I'm gonna have to run something other than Trick Room every single week, or my playstyle is gonna be very predictable. So I thought, what if I went in the other direction and used speed to my advantage? That's where the idea of Tornadus came in. Tornadus has access to the move known as Tailwind, which doubles your speed for 4 turns. Now they may not seem like much, but 4 turns can be the difference from a win and a loss. Katrina also has access to a bunch of hard-hitting special moves and great physical moves, such as Knockoff U-Turn for physical, Sludge Wave, Focus Blast, Heat Wave, Hurricane, Air Slash, Sludge Bomb, and moves of that sort. It is usually paired with a Life Orb to take advantage of its Regenerator, or an Assault Vest to take advantage of its decent bulk. So that is my reasoning for picking Tornadus really late in the draft, actually. And on to our next mon. So here we have Dawn the Dragonite. Now Dragonite was a conflicting pick for me, because while it does go well with both strategies that I have in place, it kind of falls short on its playstyle when it comes to those strategies. For example, if I have a Dragon Dancing Dragonite that I'm gonna need for a match and I have to run Trick Room, that's gonna hamper me a lot. If I have to run Dragon Tail to throw out some sweepers, I can just get swept like that. It took me a bit to realize that it resists St. Helen's main defensive weakness, and it's immune to its ground weakness. So I'm like, alright, this is a pretty good pick. It has access to extreme speed, it has a very diverse move pool, it can be run as both a physical and a special attacker, it has decent speed tiering, and with the ability multi-scale, it is not immune, but it can take hits a lot better than most. So on to numero 10. And next we have Anankos, aka Drapion, however you pronounce it, that's up to you. Drapion is, in my opinion, a really underlooked mon. It has access to some of the best setup moves in the game, but most people take it for granted as they don't see it as much of a speedy or offensive mon. They usually see it as a bulky mon, or just another knockoff user. But it is so much more than that. With battle armor, it is immune to crits. So there is no chance that you're going to lose that one game from that guy who got that Draco Meteor crit. You're going to stay in there, you're going to live on 5%, and you're going to use knockoff and win. Drapion has a decent speed tiering, outspeeding 90 base speed, and sliding in at our second to last mon, we have Anankos the Drapion/Drapion, however you pronounce it. That is completely up to you. Drapion, in my opinion, is so underrated, as most people see it as just another mon that's in RU that isn't really good. But if you look at Drapion's stats, it is surprisingly fast, it has a good amount of bulk, and its attack is not bad either. It has access to battle armor, which prevents critical hits, so you're not going to get crit by that one Draco Meteor and lose. It also has access to knockoff, arguably one of the best moves in the game. It has access to Swords Dance and Acupressure, 2 great setup moves. It has Toxic Spikes, which can render some teams completely useless as it whittles them down. And it has access to Whirlwind, throwing out those sweepers before they even try. And for our final member, wrapping up our draft, is Tokyo the Credilli. Credilli was sort of a last-minute pick. I know I've said I've had my draft planned out since the beginning, but Tokyo the Credilli came in clutch when I realized it has a water-absorbing ability, while I have a quad weakness to water in my Mega. Tokyo serves as a great wall with its capabilities of using Recover, Ingrain, Stockpile, and other moves as such. It gets access to Ancient Power, which in my opinion is broken when you actually get the stat boost. It gets Giga Drain, Seed Bomb, Rock Slide, Sludge Bomb, Stealth Rock. I don't think it gets Leech Seed. It gets that Acid, that powerful Acid that's going to do about 4. But just its general bulk and its ability to negate water moves is its main reason why it was picked up. It also isn't that weak to knockoff, but it's still not where I'd like it for my knockoff resists to go, since it's not one. That was my OCD draft review. My name is Jhawk King, and I will see you guys later. Deuces.